What do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube, our Thursday afternoon show presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and the Firekeepers Casino iCasino and Sportsbook app. The newly updated Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. Download the app today. Bet the games we're betting. You're going to like the user experience. Give it a shot. Fade us, tail us, have fun. Do it within your means with the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. And our Thursday afternoon show also presented by our friends at Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask & Company Kitchen and Bar. That's just north of Frandor on the East Lansing border on East Saginaw. Unbelievable place. The original Couch and the Roof sponsor. And if you're looking for a place to watch football this weekend, U.S. Open tennis, whatever it is you want, Front 43 and Cask & Company is here for you. Jason, how you doing, brother?
Iguna Yaba Gita Jared
Graham.
Things.
Graham.
What's up, buddy? That's not Spartan speak, by the way. That's audio from something else.
Yeah. No, I don't even where that was Spartan speak, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, we got that one. Spartan
I actually had to tune into Spartan speak because someone gave me a timestamp, and I went to go find it, and it wasn't the correct timestamp, but I was listening, and it's just basically Solari going on and on and on, and Couch going, but I like you never get into a word in edgewise. Why doesn't Solari just do that by himself?
I used to have a gamer time. You know how,
and this is coming from you. I mean, you talk a lot, but fucking Solari, man.
So you know how in a board game sometimes you have those little hourglass timers that come with them.
Yeah.
And so one of our games, and I'm not even sure which it is, but one of them is missing an hourglass timer because years ago when we were doing it face to face, I took an hourglass timer into the LSJ newsroom. And I would say it was a 60-second thing. I was like, both of us, and I said both of us, so, he wouldn't be offended. Both of us have to make our point by the time this hourglass is up. It's much less back and forth than
so it was an actual hour or like a minute glass?
It was a minute glass.
Okay,
a minute glass. We had 60 seconds to make our point, and then that thing was up. And I'm better at
60 seconds is a long time.
Phil used to take out me jumping in. But
how are you? But do you guys do it face to face?
We do it over Zoom.
See, that's the problem. If you do it over Zoom, because like I said before, we've had that problem when you've been on the road, and we've gotten a lot better at it. But to know when to jump in with someone on Zoom, it's just fucking impossible because sometimes there's a delay or whatever.
This particular week was worse than usual. I forgot to turn my ceiling fan off for a minute, and then also there was a really good U.S. Open tennis match, and I had moved the TV around, so I was also watching that.
So just a bunch of you going, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. All right, Chris. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, but I couldn't find. Someone just gave me a timestamp. Didn't really tell me what was said during that, so I had to kind of skim through it a little bit. And I'm like, my God,
you figured it out?
No, I didn't find out what the person was talking about because I was on Spotify. I know that it varies from different platforms. Right. So
interesting. Well, maybe they can fill you in. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm willing to check it out.
The big challenge of the day is the R key on my keyboard has stopped working. So if your name has an R in it, if you're like Ryan Rockwell, when we do these Groovy Donut Twitter questions in a little bit, who knows? Jason,
what is wrong with your laptop?
I don't know.
Why are you just talking about it like you're just gonna? Are you never gonna type the letter R again?
Well, no, it works. You just have to press it hard. It just started last night in the middle of finishing a column.
But shouldn't you be like, man, I got to figure out what's going on with my laptop?
No,
not just, hey, Jason, heads up. Any word with R, you're effed.
How many Groovy Donuts have been eaten over this laptop? What do you mean? What's
I
wrong
know
with this
that's
laptop?
what I mean. But that should have been the discussion. It's like we need to get this laptop fixed somehow.
Well,
some of that air spray stuff in there. I think you're far beyond that.
Not have time for
you
that.
You need to take it to the Apple store in Eastwood Town Center.
I'll get a new one.
All right, but I'm saying that should have been the discussion. Now, like, hey, just a heads up for Jason. Any word with R in it, you're good luck.
Ryan Rockwell, maybe Yayan Ockwell today. Who knows when they go through? I'm just saying that if you could be some things missing R's. So
people get up my ass for this reading stuff, and now you're making it more challenging.
Could be a lot of missing R's in there. Usually we begin our end of week show with what we are betting presented by Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. We are going to start with Harry here momentarily, and that that will be that segment. We've also got Graham Dietz. I got to double check if it's Deets or Dietz, but I think it's Deets, who covers Boston College.
Graham on Graham, 69.
Graham on Graham, and we're going to chat and things.
Graham.
Get a sense
on Graham.
Get a sense of this Boston College team as well, and then we have a great batch of Groovy Donut Twitter questions that we are going to dig into in the right after we talk to the other Graham. Do you want to get Harry on the phone, my friend? While he's getting Harry on the phone, a reminder at Firekeepers Casino on I-94 in Battle Creek, Dacey's Taproom and Sportsbook, if you're looking for the in-house sportsbook experience, or you can have it right on your phone at your fingertips. Just download the app, the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook. Play the games there. It's easy to deposit money. Most casinos have it figured out how to take your money. But you don't have to give it to a casino that's not based in Michigan. Not that you're doing charity for a casino, but it's right here. It's our casino, and their app is right available to you on the casino. And also, Front 43 and Cask & Company, I mentioned watching games this weekend, watching the U.S. Open or whatever it might be. A reminder, they have one of the great reservation systems. So if you're going on a weekend evening or a date night or whatever it is, and you want a booth or you want some certain setting, go to caskandcompany.com. Type which side you want to be in, where you want to be. Make a reservation, and they'll take care of you there at Front 43 and Cask & Company. Very pleased now to be joined by our good friend, the great Harry Gagnan. And this is, I don't know, my favorite few minutes of every week. Other than talking to my wife, let's not put that part down. Harry also has a new way to get his content. BigAl.com, is that right? BigAl.com, Harry?
That is correct, guys. BigAl.com. You can catch my free picks on there every day. You can get my, you can subscribe and see what you like in my other picks that I'm giving out. We have package deals, 3-day deals, 7-day deals, month deals, 6-month deals, whatever you want. Today I was just texting you guys, sweating out. Not really sweating out, but my free pick of the day, obviously, huge week for football. Don't get me wrong, guys. But, Graham, you know that this is a big week in soccer, too, with World Cup qualifying going on all over the world. And my free pick today was an international friendly, Norway versus Finland. I had under 3, 1-0 Norway, piece of cake.
Beautiful.
Final.
Beautiful. And you were
Jared Goff.
You were on fire on this show last week, and all the picks we talked about. I think it was 6-1. I want to say last week with the
7-2.
7-2. 7-2. Okay, 7-2 with the picks.
Can we get those at fbillsimmons.com?
Let's do that too.
Yeah. Don't get Harry in trouble. You never know. You got to keep relationships alive.
I said that.
Yeah.
Those are my words.
Yeah. You got to keep relationships alive. You never know when things circle back around in life. That's what I would say to that.
Fair.
Well, first week of the NFL season is finally upon us. So it's college football.
So let's talk soccer parlays.
Yes, let's do that. Well, we do have some other Harry. Yeah. So
yes,
he's he just gave you Norway, Finland if you'd been on that early. He does have a soccer play for tomorrow too. So we'll get to that. This is a tough week for me. While I love getting up and watching the early soccer and like Azerbaijan and stuff like that, I do get upset with the international break happening this quick into the Premier League season and with the U.S. Open tennis going on.
Azerbaijan.
But anyway,
the Asian line of Azerbaijan. What the fuck? Can we get to a men's sport?
Just throwing this out there. You can get second half right now, Graham.
Yeah?
Second half action on Russia versus Jordan.
Might have to do that.
Are you guys trying to get me to quit?
Yeah.
Is this like the bit here? I mean, it's starting to work.
All right. Well, let's do some college football and NFL, and then we'll get back to where all our listeners want to be in the soccer. We've got 3 college games to get to. The Michigan State game and the Michigan game, but we're going to start with one other game first that I think is sort of an interesting bet because it's usually close. Iowa plus 3.5 at Iowa State. Iowa State looked great last week. Iowa threw the ball for negative 75 million yards. They still can't pass. The world is down on them. It's a road game. But this game is always close, man. Like 3.5 is a line that they're just I think they're begging you. I don't even know what they're begging you to bet here. But give me the Hawkeyes with the world down on them right now and the world up on Iowa State. Give me the Hawkeyes plus 3.5. Jason, where are you?
You know, when I first looked at this game, I was like, keep me away from this Boarfest. But you're right, Graham. This game is always tight. And that 3.5, that hook reeled me in. Kirk Ferentz is still ass. But I got to say, Harry, and the over-under is 41 and a hook. Jesus. Give me Kirk Ferentz with a 3.5. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to take the 3.5 too. It's always close, like you guys mentioned. Iowa State's looked very good in their first two games, 2-0 against the spread. People have seemed like they're a little down on Iowa. I think this is where you got to grab the points here. And traditionally, they've kind of won this series too. But what I'm really looking at, guys, in this game, I really I'm leaning towards the under. I really like the under 41.5. I know it's a low number here, but again, Iowa State's defense shut down that high-powered offense of Kansas State week 1, week 0 actually, if you want to say what we really say it is, in Ireland. And by the way, Kansas State's a lot of people predicted them to be first in the Big 12. Gave up just 7 points and 200 total yards versus South Dakota last week, and 5 of the last 6 games between these two have gone under 41.5 points, 3 in a row. And Iowa, if you want to date back to 6 straight regular season games now, they've held opponents to 20 points or less, 13 points per game over those 6 games average. I'm going to go under 41.5, and might as well, if I'm going to go the under, I might as well take the 3.5.
Yeah, no, it's Iowa football and Iowa State. Hold your nose and watch it and enjoy. Okay, Boston College plus 4.5 at Michigan State. That line has grown. It opened at 2.5. We're going to have a Boston College writer on a little bit to talk more about this game and may convince us otherwise of everything we're thinking. Here are my couple thoughts right now. One is I think Boston College will be better than a year ago because I believe Bill O'Brien's a good coach. And I think you see this with Michigan State. You see this with coaches who get more of their guys, especially in this era, get more seasoned programs. They did lose some key guys. They lost a really good player up front on offense. But their secondary, I think their quarterback play is more in line with what he wants. They've got a really nice receiver. And so I think they're better. But Michigan State is better everywhere too, even if it varies how much better. And Michigan State a year ago on the road had to turn the ball over like 4 times with 3 interceptions, 2 really costly turnovers early in the third quarter to blow this game. And they played that game without Nick Marsh, their top receiver. Like Michigan State was the better football team at that point in the season last year outside of the turnovers. So if the turnovers don't exist, it's at Michigan State. As long as they can handle this, what I think is a mammoth expectation style game, I just don't think Boston College has probably eclipsed them. The thing is it is 4.5. Like that's the number. It's like 2.5 seemed when it was under 3, it seemed better. It might be if you can. Even teasing it down, what do you get? 2.5? That's not great. It's not a great.
But then you're teasing it.
Yeah, not a great line. Not a great line.
Next step's 1-800-GAMBLER.
In the LSJ, I think I picked 28-20, Michigan State.
Well, we're going to hold you to that.
So I am going to, for our purposes here, take Michigan State.
Not a fan though.
What I was saying is I would not advise people to bet this one. I would let
and
this
Graham
play
wants
out.
to announce he cannot bet on this game.
And I cannot.
He's covering this game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, as usual. What do you have, Jason?
By the way, that the game last week, it's pretty simple for me. The second half against Western, Harry, that offense took a piece of my soul. And I see that 4.5 number, and it's already gross. And I got all off season, Jonathan Smith. Oh, we got to give him some time. Jonathan Smith, blah, blah, blah. And I saw that second half, they scored 2 points off of safety. I just can't, until Michigan State proves it to me, I have to take Boston College, and I like it a lot. Give me Boston College plus 4.5. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Michigan State proves me wrong. But until they do, I love Boston College plus 4.5. What do you got?
Yeah, boy, last week, I think you guys both went Michigan State. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I went the other way with Western Miss. If you had Michigan State, what a brutal way to lose and not cover. It's, throwing the pick six. But in this spot, too, I'm not a big Bill O'Brien fan. Never been. But and I know it's a small sample size of Boston College from last week, but boy, I'll tell you what, 66 points. I know they played Fordham or whatever, but 500 yards of passing. Meanwhile, Michigan State could only muster about 200 yards of offense, 250 yards of offense at home in their opener. Yeah, I just got to see more out of Michigan State's offense. I'll take the 4.5 with the Eagles here.
All right,
who's the fan now?
Yeah, look, I'm just going on the prediction. I mean, I'm going to take it.
You can't go against your prediction.
Yeah, correct.
You know?
I don't feel
if it was down in print.
I don't feel great about it. I don't know if it's been published yet. I could probably change it. Sometimes I feel so badly about what I put in print that I change it before it goes online. You have different
some confidence with your picks, man.
Yeah, it's not a deal. Okay,
Jesus.
The other game of real significance, and it's not a great slate in college football this week, by the way. Mm-hmm. Michigan +5 at Oklahoma, which is a good game, and credit Michigan for this series and going on the road and doing these sort of games. This is what you want, right? They weren't doing them for a while. They are now. Let's credit where credit's due there. And again, you get Bryce Underwood, freshman quarterback who showed some real promise with very little pressure. Had a couple moments that weren't as great. Like, this will be a real test.
The Lobos were tough, though, yeah.
This will be a test against Brent Venables' defense, and I don't love this Oklahoma team overall, but I think it's a tough defense. It's a tough environment early in the year when hope is high. I think, but it's a really hard game because it's a freshman quarterback playing on the road for the first time. I think Michigan's a better football team than Oklahoma overall, and the question is, can Underwood not have the disastrous freshman moment that most freshmen would have here, or not just, can he be solid? I think that's much more important for Michigan than he's spectacular at any point. I'm going to take Michigan here. I like the 5 is a big number points-wise. I like Michigan. But I would also caution people against betting it just because you're dealing with a freshman quarterback and you could have a 3-interception game where they get to him blitz-wise and things go haywire and you're on the road. And I just would, it's one of those games that could go either way. What do you have, Jason?
Well, you pretty much said it all. It's more, Underwood first start on the road. Venables, that guy owes me money. So, he should pay me back I'm with you. I think Michigan is the better team. I don't trust Oklahoma. Even though it's at home, I think Michigan protects Underwood, makes sure he doesn't have to do too much. Give me Michigan and that weird +5. What do you got, Harry?
Yeah, I'm going to take the 5 as well. But Graham, you guys both make great points. I think you definitely have to worry about that. I think Oklahoma's defense definitely came on in the second half of the season last year. So they're supposed to have a very good defense here. So I'm worried about a real screw up that could cost Michigan points here. But I'll take the 5. Sharon Moore going back to where he graduated in 2008 at Oklahoma. I think he wants his teammates, or his team knows this too, and they're going to play extra special for him here in Norman. I'm going to take the 5 here. It seems like a good number. And Michigan, often over the past couple of years, you don't see them getting points often, especially more than a field goal. I'll take the 5.
All right, to the NFL, Week 1. This is beautiful. We're going to talk 4 games here. Giants. +6 at Commanders. And
why is this game on here?
But
Did you mean to put this game on?
Yeah, because if you look around, this is actually to me, it's one of the more interesting games. There might be better games to make money on, but in terms of interesting games, this is the fourth one. I wanted a 4th game. And I love this game. I like the Giants a lot. I think the Giants roster is as good as the Commanders roster everywhere but quarterback. You got Justin Fields. I like the Giants pass rush. I like a lot of things about the Giants. It's a divisional game out of the gate. Those are often close. I don't know that they win this game, but I think it's inside of a score late, and if it's 6, then that's got a shot. So I'm going to take the Giants here, and I feel pretty good about it, Jason.
So that's why you like it, because that was it jumped off.
It jumped out at you.
I just can't bet again with Russell Wilson. I can't somehow.
Wait, is it Wilson? Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's Wilson.
What did you say? Justin Fields?
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, is that why you said him? I was wondering why you said him. He's with the Jets.
Oh, my God. Take this back. Hold on. Russell Wilson. I can't. I hate Russell Wilson.
Are you fucking serious?
I mixed up my New York quarterbacks. That's horrible. We fix this in post?
Now this might go on TikTok. What the fuck you mean? We're not cutting this out. So do you want to change your pick?
No, I'll stick.
checking my notes, make sure I had everything down right. I didn't even know.
Yeah, the trade that you didn't know happened. I'm going to take the Giants for our purposes. But, man, I can't bet anybody in life with no personality, so I'm not taking
So, Justin, if Justin Fields were on the Giants, you like it a lot. But now that it's Russell Wilson, that you like the Commanders.
Correct.
What a gambling show.
I think that's the difference between a 3-point loss and an 8-point loss.
You know what? I was going to go against Russell Wilson, but I think I have to take Russell Wilson and the 6 points now, Harry. What's going on here? What's up with your boy?
Yeah, look, if you look at, I'm going to take the Giants too. Over the past, let's see, 7 games, these two teams, division rivals, have played each other. Only one of them, Washington's won by more than 6 points, only one out of the last 7 meetings. And if you look, I know Washington was fantastic last year, and unfortunately, they tripped up Detroit in the playoffs when Detroit was all banged up. But if you look at Washington's regular season wins and the quarterbacks that they actually beat, they beat nobody. They really beat nobody. So in game 1 of the season, and again, 6 of the last 7 times they've played each other, Washington has either lost or not won by more than 6 points, more than 5 points, sorry. More than 6 points. 6 points. So I will take the Giants with the points here, guys.
I got to get my Super Bowl pick in for the Jets now that I realize Justin Fields is on the Jets. It's no, I just don't love Fields, but I just think he's more of a playmaker at this point in a one-game setting. The Giants should have signed Fields. All right, Lions +2 at the Packers. Look, a lot's been made about Micah Parsons, and the Packers are a hot team to pick to win it all. And it's on the road. They could lose this game, and it doesn't mean the season's lost or anything like that. I think this is a great Week 1 game. But I think the Lions are going to have a little bit of their chip on the shoulder. People are kind of counting them out. The idea that, and maybe the loss of 2 coordinators is an issue, but if you see another story from some national Yahoo who writes that angle, I'm going to puke. I'm sorry. It's become a bit too much. I don't know what that will mean. I think they're going to have a chip on the shoulder. I think they're still one of the best couple teams in football right now. And it's good weather in Green Bay, so it's a great time to get the Packers. Don't love this, and probably a homer pick here, but give me the Lions +2. Jason, where are you?
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
Why are we an underdog? Dan Campbell owns Lambeau. What are we doing here? Yeah. Of course, give me the Lions and getting 2, Harry. What are we talking about here?
You are right. Campbell does own the Packers in Lambeau, beaten them 3 straight years. I think they've beaten them 4 straight overall. The Parsons pickup, very nice. Look, it seems like maybe Green Bay gave up too much. I don't know. But, the line is fishy. You're right, Jay. Why are the Lions 2-point underdog here with history and how good Detroit was last year and everyone is healthy? Something is just, I don't know, doesn't smell right here. Love has not been very good against Detroit. A lot of people, including myself, expecting a lot out of him this year. I don't know. Fishy game 1, new coordinators for Detroit. I'll take Green Bay.
And doesn't Love have an injury on his left hand, too? That's going to be a nagging problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how many times have we seen that said before a game and the guy goes out for 350 and has 3 touchdowns?
Every time I gamble, pretty much.
Right.
It happens every time.
All right, Ravens -1 at Bills. Excellent game.
Josh Allen's the quarterback of Buffalo.
Yeah. Josh Allen's still there?
Yeah,
Good to know. Good to know. I like this Bills team. I love Josh Allen. The Ravens, though, are great in the regular season. I'm not going against Josh Allen here. I like it 1 here. That doesn't actually the Bills. The Bills are 1-point underdogs.
It doesn't matter.
Favorite.
It's been flip-flopping.
Yeah.
This game is the biggest coin flip ever. But I like the Ravens. What do you got, Harry?
I'm going to take the Bills. I'm not really thrilled about their secondary. Lamar may be able to torch them. But last year, in Baltimore, regular season, The Ravens rolled Josh Allen and the Bills by 25 points. I think it's payback here. Normally, Josh Allen, fantastic in the regular season in big games. He's got a better record in the regular season than he does in the postseason. And again, payback from last year. Now the game is in Buffalo. I will take the Bills.
All right. Lastly, Vikings -1.5 at the Bears. This is part of when we do our favorite picks here. One of my favorite bets of the week, but it is not it straight up here. I really don't know what to expect from the Bears, from the Vikings. The Vikings quarterback situation is interesting. The Bears quarterback situation is interesting. Ben Johnson's interesting. I think the Vikings roster is pretty good though, and I think a lot of people have shit on them. I'm going to take the Vikings here. It's just a hunch. Probably wouldn't put much on it without the
because they have less interesting stuff going on than the Bears have.
Yeah, and what's funny is I'm going to go the other way in something I'm about to give out in a second. But for this pick, I'm going to take the Vikings. Jason,
would it be easier just to go, what are the best things going on instead of trying to figure out, crushing game tape for the – oh, Harry. See you, Harry.
Harry's like, fuck this show. I've had enough of those guys.
Yeah, the new phone line's been working kind of weird here. Anyway, Let me try to get Harry back on, or what are we doing here?
Yeah,
it's an ultimate coin flip.
Let's get Harry if you could.
All right.
You
need some Hoff?
Yeah. Well, no, I'll just I will.
Hold on.
I will do a live read for our friends at Groovy Donuts. That is like this week tailgate play, just hanging out watching football, anything. Make Groovy Donuts part of your weekend. Go to groovydonuts.com. 2 locations, Lake Lansing Road, East Lansing, and also Williamson, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thursday through Sunday. It'll just bring joy to your life. Look, maybe Meebe took donuts 1,000 miles last week, and I'd like to actually know if they made them and how good they were when they got there. I'm sure they were fine. Groovy Donuts does not sell anything but fresh donuts. I have had 2-day-old Groovy Donuts that were still fantastic. So I think you can travel with Groovy Donuts. That's just my take. But groovydonuts.com or swing by either location. If you want a special for a party, for a gathering, you want people to like you when you show up, Groovy Donuts is the way to go.
It's going right to voicemail, so I don't know if he'll call me back.
All right. Well, we've lost Harry. So you're going Vikings, huh?
Yeah, give me no, I'm taking the Bears. Give me the home dog.
All right. Favorite bet is, I love this bet. I love a teaser, a 7-point teaser with the Broncos, who are -9 down to 2 at home against the Titans, and the Bears up to 8.5 at home against the Vikings. I like that a lot. You get close to a pick'em with the Broncos at home against the Titans, and a rookie quarterback against a great defense, and you get the Bears at home, and you're getting 2-point conversion, all that above that at 8.5. I think that is my favorite bet of the week. Do you have a favorite bet, Jason?
Harry, are you back?
I'm back. Would you guys believe it's not even hot here? I'm in my car, and my car. I took a screenshot. Said my car. It's too hot. My phone just was up because my phone was too hot.
Let's talk about your picks.
Well, you live in
too hot.
I guess.
You live in Arizona, so that's an issue. That's the first mistake you made.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, give you Harry or Graham. Give your best bet again for Harry.
Okay, for my best bet, Harry. And then we'll get well, first of all, Bears Vikings. Do you have a pick here? Who you like, Harry?
Yeah, real quick. I do like. I'm leaning. I don't love it. I'm leaning towards the Bears. No Addison for 3 games for Minnesota. That's going to hurt McCarthy. We'll see what he can do. First game, prime time, Monday night. A lot of jitters. Haven't heard a lot of Jefferson either. I know he's had that injury, banged up with that ankle. Haven't heard a lot from him, so I'm going to trust Caleb Williams here. I'm going to trust the Bears. I'm going to take them here on Monday night.
All right. My favorite pick, Harry, was Broncos in a teaser down to 2, and Bears in a teaser up to 8.5. Like those two together, I just think 7-point teaser. I love getting the Broncos down at 2 against Tennessee, and the Bears up to 8.5. Jason, do you have a favorite bet?
Yes, I'm parlaying the games that that we were talking about earlier. Give me BC plus 4.5 against MSU, Iowa plus 3.5 against Iowa, and SMU at home versus Baylor money line. That pays out plus 514.
Woo, that's okay. Yeah. All right, 5-14.
Like you said, not a great college slate, so I'm only going 3 games.
Yep. If you want to go against the Spartans, little something there.
I don't want to. They got to prove it.
Do you have a best bet you love this week, Harry?
I do this weekend in college. I'm going to go to Kansas State. The game opened up 16. Now it's 17. They're taking on Army. I like their quarterback, Kansas State, Avery Johnson. He's got 350 yards, 6 total touchdowns in the first 2 weeks. Army lost to Tarleton State last week. Tarleton State, they gave up 192 yards on the ground to Tarleton State. Army's quarterback, Dwayne Coleman, 0 touchdown passes, 2 picks last week against this team. And Kansas State has a tough one next week in Tucson at Arizona. No messing around here for Kansas State like they did last week when they barely got by North Dakota at home as a 25-point favorite. They only won that game by 3, had to score a late touchdown. I don't think they mess around here at all. I think they roll Army.
And quickly, Harry, your soccer bet for tomorrow, what do you have?
Well, we've got a lot of World Cup qualifying going on all over, Graham, so I'm going to go with the over 2, just over 2 at -125. How about this one? South Africa versus Lesotho. Now, listen here, guys. In South Africa's last 7 matches, 6 of them have landed on 2 goals or more, which includes a 3-3 tie in their last match 3 weeks ago, Graham. Of course, I'm sure you had that against Uganda. Lesotho might not have a lot of offense, but their defense eventually breaks down. They gave up 7 goals in their last 2 games where they haven't scored. I'm going to go at least, a push is 2 goals. Give me over 2. South Africa, Lesotho in World Cup qualifying on Friday.
You are a beautiful man. Quickly for me, I like Anna Samova over Osaka, plus 135 in the night match semifinal tonight in the U.S. Open. Harry, you are a beautiful, beautiful man. We will talk to you soon, man. Thanks so much.
Always, guys. Thanks. Thanks again.
Thanks, Harry.
All right, we are going to take a quick break and get to Graham Dietz and talk some Michigan State BC football. Couch in the Rube, presented by our friends at Firekeepers and the Firekeepers Eye Casino and Sportsbook app and Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask and Company Kitchen and Bar.
Firekeepers Online Casino and Sportsbook is the site to play from your phone, tablet, or laptop. Get in on all the football action with pre- and in-game wagering. There's showdowns every week in football that you can't miss. Plus, the college and pro hoops are red hot, and the pucks are cool. Get your first casino deposit and sports wager matched up to $500 each. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and located in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117. Where else can you cheer on your team? Enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi. Sip on handcrafted cocktails or one of 46 beers on tap. Take your game day or date night to Cask and Company Kitchen Bar or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with 1 awesome blended modern American Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask and Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Ever wonder how comfortable you can be and how good you can look? Put on a Muskox flannel and find out. Muskox has new arrivals for this fall, including the Caper Green Grand Flannel, which even makes couch look good. Muskox is a Detroit-based flannel company that creates soft and durable flannels made to last a lifetime. They become a great partner with Couch in the Rube, not just because they make us look good and feel good, but because they're good people too, and a socially conscious company. For every $100 purchase, $10 is donated to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation. Muskox flannels are designed with 100% cotton that is ethically sourced and double brushed for softness. Feel the quality and comfort of a Muskox flannel by ordering at gomuskox.com, where Couch in the Rube listeners can enjoy $15 off their flannel purchase with the promo code HOFF.
Find Couch in the Rube podcasts on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Google Podcasts, CastBox, and the Rube's favorite, Podcast Addict.
Couch in the Rube, our Thursday afternoon show presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and the Firekeepers Eye Casino and Sportsbook app, as well as Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask and Company Kitchen and Bar. Very happy now to be joined by somebody who actually knows about Boston College instead of us just thinking we know it and spewing out nonsense to you. Graham Dietz, another great first name writer who covers Boston College for SI. Graham, thanks for taking some time, man.
Yeah, thank you, Graham. It's weird saying that out loud, but I'm glad you guys are having me on the show. I appreciate it and excited to preview this matchup.
It's bizarre. It's going to get confusing for people, but I don't mind that. I like hearing my name. It's a great name. We want to get a sense of this Boston College team from you. And, Bill O'Brien's second year seems like it's probably a more seasoned program. Quarterback who probably fits more what he is looking for.
Yeah.
And Dylan Lonergan. It was a little dinged up early this week. Looks like he's going to play from everything you read. Who is he to this as a quarterback? Is he going to start number one from what you know? And what did you take away from his first start against Fordham?
Yeah. So a few times during fall training camp, Bill O'Brien would sit some of the current starters just for rest days, and I think that was kind of his goal and aim with having Lonergan sit out of the first day of practice this week. From what I could tell, he seemed fine when he was back at practice on Wednesday, which was the second day of media that we could attend. So I think he's going to be good and ready to go and ready to roll to play MSU on the road. I was looking back at the matchup last year. Obviously, there's a lot of differences between the past matchup and this one that's upcoming. The most obvious being the fact that we played at home. We're going to play on the road against Big Ten opponent, and obviously in primetime hours, and the quarterback. That's the main difference. Tommy Castellanos, who is now at FSU, obviously just pulled off that big upset this past week against Alabama. I would not compare him in any sort of way to the type of QB that Dylan Lonergan was in week one against Fordham. And what he's shown through practices, through fall training camp, and when he arrived in the winter during spring training, he's exactly what Bill O'Brien was looking for in a quarterback. And I don't just say that because he recruited Dylan in the first place to Alabama before he was at BC. It's just the intangibles about Dylan that makes him a perfect fit for O'Brien. It's the quick decision making, getting his reads covered one by one in a timely fashion, and getting the ball out quick, and knowing to take that check down pass if he needs him to, is really what I see out of Dylan, who had obviously a tremendous first debut as in college football for the first time ever.
When I look at the receivers here, and Lewis Bond has a big game, who are the guys when you look at this Boston College team in terms of playmakers that have a chance to hurt defenses? Do they, and is that sort of the question that's still being sort of figured out?
Yeah, no, I don't think it is, to be honest. They have a lot of depth, but there's a key front three guys between Lewis Bond, Reed Harris, and Jaden Skeet, and all three of those were players that the Spartans saw last year as well. So this feels like the second year of really building that receiving core between the three of those guys. Lewis is obviously the most veteran of the group. He's been in BC's ranks for now 4 years and led the team in receiving yards the past two. But Jaden and Reed have made some really big strides this season. Reed is kind of your typical go up and get it guy. He's great in the red zone because of his size. He's a 6'5" receiver who played quarterback in high school and converted to receiver when he got to BC from Montana. Actually, I think he's the only one on the team from Montana. And Jaden has really improved as well this year with his route running, his catching. If you go back and watch that tape from Fordham, and I know obviously the secondary and second level players of Michigan State don't compare necessarily to those of Fordham, but if you go back and look, pretty much all three of those guys were getting open on a consistent basis. I know Lewis ended up taking the majority of the reception shares. He ended up with about 140 receiving yards and ranks top 10 in the nation right now in receiving yards, which is pretty cool to see. But really all three of those guys were constantly open, and I think Dylan even missed a few times Jaden or Reed going deep and, decided to go to Lewis on more of a check down throw or something more to the mid tier instead of taking the deep shot. But expect all three of those guys to play a really big role in the game this Saturday.
If the concern that jumped out to me was the 2.5 yards a carry, and that the featured tailback runs 16 times for 48 yards, and so you're not mulling somebody up front. And I know they lost an NFL offensive lineman. There's some new pieces there. Like, what is that? The offensively the biggest question moving forward?
That is absolutely the biggest question moving forward. You hit that. You hit the nail on the head there. It's going to be obviously a massive change, with who the offensive line is going up, on the front end against MSU, the defensive front, between Fordham and, this matchup. And it was not a good showing. And O'Brien admitted that right away, that was something that they were going to hone in on this week during practice, is the run blocking especially. And what I saw during that game was just a lack of making gaps. It wasn't necessarily that, the defensive front for Fordham was pushing, BC's interior guards and center towards, the quarterback and into the backfield. It was really just the lack of gaps that I saw when Turbo Richard and Jordan McDonald, who are two, featured prominent backs, were taking handoffs, and it didn't feel like BC. They've been a good rushing team the past two seasons. Like you said, we've had a few NFL draft picks that have been featured on the offensive line the last 2 years. Christian Mahogany 2 years ago, and then last year 2 draft picks between Ozzie Trapillos on the Bears now and Drew Kendall. And they've got good size on this line. I think the average size is 6'5", and a left tackle, Jude Bowery, who has been getting a lot of professional looks during practice. A lot of scouts in the NFL who are coming to see him, as well as Logan Taylor, the right guard. But just those other pieces, the pieces that have come in for those guys who have gone to the NFL, I think they really need to show that they can step up. And if not, that's going to be, a potential area that MSU is going to take advantage of on Saturday.
Defensively, I like their secondary. It looks like a decent group. What is the strength of this defense? It's really hard, and you play a Fordham. Michigan State's going to go through this next week with Youngstown State. Like, you play these teams, and you're trying to take things from them that you think about an identity, and they're really you're overmatching them in certain ways. And so I'm wondering what you take from that game and what you think about this defense.
Yeah, I think the thing about the defense is it all stems from what defensive coordinator Tim Lewis does with it, and he tends to change up the scheme and formation of the defense pretty much on a weekly basis, which I think that's where the strength of it really comes from, is that sometimes what you'll see one week is not what you're going to see the next week. And, I think they use that to their advantage with film, especially. They're trying to, play against and play to the disadvantages of their opponent. And I think that, last year they intercepted Aiden Childs 3 times. They saw that, he only had, 150 passing yards in the season opener for the Spartans. I think that with BC secondary that came away tied for first in interceptions in the ACC last year, has not lost a single player and has, in fact, gained multiple guys on that depth chart who, the Spartans haven't played yet. Some guys like Sire Torrance, Carter Davis has a bigger share of roles in the safety realm, more in that high second tier. And, Omari and Hampton, those are guys that you're going to see that you didn't see last year against Childs. But at the same time, the 3 guys who intercepted him, Amari Jackson, I think it was Amari, Max Tucker, and actually it might have been Davis as well. Those guys are all back as well. So, that's kind of the key returning piece for BC, but I really didn't see them create much pressure up front. Owen Stuttermeyer, defensive tackle for BC, went down during training camp and was unable to play in that first game against Fordham. He has been practicing this week, so I think it's hopeful that he might make a return, maybe not to full capacity, but in some. But that's, if they can't generate pressure and just let Childs run around, I think, that's where the Spartans offense can really take advantage.
What is, do you have a pick for this week?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Boston College in this one. I know that the line is, I think Michigan State is a 3.5-point favorite. With the way that the secondary is built up this year, I think that the Eagles continue their win streak and continue being on the road with a win streak in this one.
Well, Graham, it is always awesome to talk to another Graham, and I hope that name serves you well. And I really appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I appreciate the questions, and thanks for having me.
That is Graham Dietz, and you can follow his work at Graham_Dietz on X, and just really appreciate that and his insight. And Jason,
yeah,
what's your takeaway?
It's a good guy from Graham. I was distracted during that whole interview. I have to admit, I was sent a headline from someone's column that came out this morning. You want me to read it, and you can guess who it was?
Los.
Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes' seats could get hot if Detroit Lions flop again in the playoffs.
Jesus.
You going to defend your boy?
I got nothing. He's a great guy to have dinner with. I got nothing otherwise.
The comments are something else. I mean, if you're gonna tell me that it gets response, it gets a response. There's 196 replies.
That's not what this is supposed to be about. Yeah, it's not.
So sorry, Graham seems like he was a nice kid, but I was so distracted from people sending that to me, going like, "Let's hear Graham defend his boy Los now." I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, that's tough. No, take away from that.
Monterez is single-handedly causing the newspapers to go under.
That's not true.
That's my hot take for Monday. That's a preview for Monday.
Okay.
Get him on the show and defend this shit, Los. Come on, that is ridiculous. It's embarrassing.
It's
I'm sorry, dude, but I love the newspaper industry.
What's his lead?
That
headline has. I mean, that's the problem. Is the headline? I gotta read what that. I gotta read that.
What
column.
Could he possibly write in there to where you'd be like, oh, you know what? Los does have some point. Like, how could you even defend what he's saying?
No, I mean you. Right, you can write something that's a little more nuanced. Like this is a test of, Dan Campbell's ability to move on with new coordinators and Brad Holmes to move on without making the big trade. Yeah. And that's a fair assessment. That's a fair thing to say. The hot seat shit. It's the Skubal, Tarek Skubal's out of the Cy Young Award. And then he won the Triple Crown right after that.
He's just a wet blanket who doesn't. I don't know. I don't talk to Los, but I don't know if he means. I understand that, but he sucks at sports writing. He sucks at what he's doing. It isn't good. I'm sorry. It is. It's not. If you don't believe that. There's no way. What could happen this season where Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, their seats are both hot? What could happen? A Mel Tucker phone sex fucking scandal?
They'd have to be on the Epstein list, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Why doesn't he write that fucking headline? Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes could be on the Epstein list. Why not? Why are we stopping at what he did this morning? Anyway, Graham Dietz was a great kid, though.
Yeah.
Love to have him on again.
No, he was good, and there's some good insight there. And I do think I think the Boston College defense is going to be pretty good. And the more I read, I think my pick is probably too high. 28-20 is what I picked. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game.
Can we get a pick from you right now that you're firm on, that you want to just make it your pick?
I picked.
I feel so bad. Come on, just have some confidence in your pick.
Yeah, I mean, I just.
Don't let Carlos Monterez ruin this pick for you.
So here's the thing, because I think Michigan State does not have much of a kicking game right now. I think they will be more aggressive on fourth downs. There's an argument that limits them, but it also can wind up being more points. To me, it could wind up being a 21-17 type game. Could wind up being 28-20. But I do think Boston College's defense will be maybe the strength of the team. I'm curious to see though. Yeah, again, the Fordham game. I think it's best for Michigan State that they don't lead with that game for them. I don't think that helps a team, really. I really don't. I think it's going to hurt Boston College this week that they played Fordham last week. I think it would hurt Michigan State if they played Youngstown State last week. It doesn't hurt you necessarily to the point you can't win. I just don't think it helps you. I think you're better off at least playing like a middle-of-the-road MAC team and playing somebody that's got the same amount of scholarships with you, a little closer to your budget, all that sort of stuff. All right, let's. We have a lot of really good Groovy Donut Twitter questions we need to dig into.
Oh, that's right. We still have those.
Yes.
Oh, I thought the show was over.
No. Are you ready to dig in, sir?
Yeah, let's
right,
do it. Ghost of George Perlis up first. I know Graham loves to say that the Spartans will go as far as the offensive line can take them, but isn't the truth they will go as far as Aiden Childs can take them? And from Suburban Spartan Dad. Does MSU actually need Aiden Childs to be great to go 8-4 this year? Are there enough other complementary pieces that he could finish with, like a 20-touchdown, 12-interception, 60% completion rate, and this team still wins 8 games? Or does he need to be truly special?
Yeah, so I don't know why I coupled these two together, but they're on the same topic, so I did. And I don't think, like, yes, there is a component of this where this team will go as far as Aiden Childs can take them, but I don't think outside of, like, if MSU was to truly exceed expectations, like beyond anybody's wildest dreams, it would take Aiden Childs taking them places. I think what he has to become is a pretty solid quarterback, and his athletic gifts will allow him to make plays and do other things. I think he's got decent playmakers around him. If they can run the football a little bit, it'll help a ton, and the defense might be okay. Like, I don't know.
But if you're going to try to win 10 gagames, your quarterback has to be special.
If you're getting there, but
truly special.
So the question
at some
is,
points in the season,
as far as you're going to take, like, if 8-4, like, I do think there's a chance that Michigan State could go 8-4, and he could be a 20 TD, 12 INT guy who, more often than not doesn't make the extra special play, makes it once in a while. But the real question I have for him is not can he make the special play, does he make it in big moments? Does he make the big play when they really need it? And that's what we don't know yet. And I think we're going to find out so much about him this week. I really do, because it feels like it's one of those games where there was a lot last week that left you going, that's better. That's okay. Well, that's not great. Like the
second half happened.
Well, yeah, and once the pass rush started getting to him and he's dropping his head a little bit, like that's a thing, right? What's that going to look like? And the pass rush is part of that, and the offensive line is part of that. They got him in rhythm right away. They didn't really do a lot with Nick Marsh deep. They didn't do a lot on script deep down the field. Like, what's that going to look like? So there's just so much. This week will be so much more telling. And I think how you feel about Aiden Childs and how you feel about this Michigan State football team on Monday, or after when we're doing this the take show on Monday, will be so much more real than maybe the inclinations that were had and the feelings that were had a week ago, if that makes sense.
Are you intrigued by the Bill O'Brien, Jonathan Smith kind of relationship? Bill O'Brien being a veteran, he's been in the NFL, he's been around. Just the coaching, the head-to-head battle, because obviously he's crushing the tape from the Western game. What did Western do in that second half against Childs? And it's going to be fun to see what Jonathan Smith does to combat that.
Right,
He's going to blitz the shit out of Childs.
And then also, if you purposely held some things back and they rotated some guys in, like, I don't think Elijah Tautalliver is your running back in a close game.
Can you really not score against Western and say that you were holding plays back, though? I mean, come on.
It's a fair question.
All right. Kurt Wisniewski. MSU football needs this win like breathing. Will Aiden Childs and the offense redeem themselves and lead this team to victory?
I mean, I'm picking it. I don't feel great about it, but it is a mammoth game because it feels like
Couches went back and forth like 4 times during the show.
It does feel like it affects the trajectory of the season. No, I think they will be a better team. I mean, I don't know if you heard the wheeze there from our friend Graham.
Yeah,
and like,
I take that.
And and that's right. He works for SI.
He's not lying.
Not hiding. He's not hiding that. He's not hiding that.
He also said, "I got money on BC." Now what?
Yeah, he did not say that.
See you up in that press box couch.
So you always have to take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. That said, he talked about the running game for them. If they can't run the ball at all, if Michigan State, like, we talk a lot about the pass rush defensively, but if Michigan State really just shuts down the run to begin with, that makes everything else so much easier. And I think Michigan State's own secondary is going to be pretty good. I think their linebackers are going to be pretty good. I think their interior line has a chance to be good. I don't know yet. I don't want to bank on that after Western Michigan. But if those things are good and you're just trying to create pressure in a lot of ways, and if the other team can't run the football too, it just makes life so much easier. So I'm very curious to see if BC can run the football against Michigan State.
Next one from Kurt. Will the Tigers bring up Clark and McGee for the run? Absolutely not.
No.
Because because that's what we want as fans.
They wouldn't do what we want.
Absolutely.
And it's service time, too, so they're trying to avoid. Yeah, they don't want to.
Attention to service time.
Well, I mean, again, this is what you're running
World
into
Series on the line here.
with Scooball. If you could hold back Scooball and have another year, you wish he didn't come up for a year later?
No, because we have like 2 years. This is like a year and a half left, and we're already saying our goodbyes to him. So, Couch on Fire, the Tigers' record for the last 20 games. Do we have any chance of progressing in the playoffs with this pitching motley crew?
I think the only way they do is, and again, bad teams get hot in the playoffs. Not bad teams, but average teams get hot in the playoffs and can win a series. But it starts with being one of the top 2 teams, which they would be today, which means you don't play that wild card round, which means everybody gets a rest. You set your rotation with Scooball starting game 1 and Scooball starting game 5. And if you get through it before a game 5, then you got Scooball game 1 of the ALCS. Like, that's the key. You need your bullpen as rested as they can be. You need your pitching staff rested and set up the way you want it.
But do you need the bats rested? I mean, like, you want your bats to get kind of hot in that first round. Like,
sure, but you don't want
so it carries over.
You don't want the chances. I mean, the odds that the Tigers are going to win 4 playoff series are like 0.
I know.
So the odds that they're going to win 3 is like 5%. Like, you'd rather have the 5%. Yeah.
All right. Moneybag, what should concern us about the matchup this week?
The Boston College is just better than we all realize.
Like Graham Dietz is saying
Yeah, the Boston College is
out.
better than we all realize. I think that's it. That, like, a second-year Bill O'Brien team, the secondary is pretty good. The defense is pretty good. The quarterbacks. But the problem is just
I'm not even worried about Boston College. I'm worried about Michigan State's offense.
That's fair, too.
I got to say, I'm looking at that first. Like, are you guys going to move the ball for 60 fucking minutes? Let's do it.
But if they can, if they get to Childs and that winds up being something that's in his head and he makes mistakes, and I think it's also just the unknown. When they play Fordham, you just don't know what's what out of that. And you can say the same about Western Michigan, but it's different. There's a big difference. Western Michigan would have its way with Fordham.
Moneybag, will the Michigan media ever be held accountable? Will their fans ever wake up and stop giving these guys a platform? And add prematurely accusing an OSU player, leading to death threats to the long list of lies they've spread that cause real harm.
Well, I think the thing that is tough for people is you have to remember the Michigan media that he talks of is not really, it's not really media. It's media, but it's not really journalism.
Welcome to the blue wall.
It's a promotional act, right? It's
like Los.
It's not Los.
It's a promotional act.
It's a promotional act. It's people who are in it because they're fans of Michigan. They're never going anywhere else, and so you're getting people who they're waiting for this moment, and then they carry the message, so to speak. And look, it can happen. Any writer is not discerning enough who's covering a team that you get caught up or you get poorly sourced. But you can just see the rush of it. And those people are never going to be held accountable because what they do is make money off their fan base. It's the same as, Jim Comparoni had some snarky tweet about Michigan, and I cringed at. And I'm like, yeah. I love Jim, but it's like,
fuck yeah,
that is you are Spartan Mag. Like, that doesn't come with credibility, man. Like, if you rename yourself like the Journal of College Football or something, then it's different. But you're Spartan Mag. Nobody
doesn't have the same ring to it.
And nobody cares what you think about Michigan. They can't, because they can't take you seriously on that, and they never can. And that's just built in the name. Some people would say that about the Lansing State Journal because they think, that's.
Have you ever had a death threat?
I had a guy. I wrote a column about race in NASCAR in Freeport, Illinois, in 2004.
Let's bring that back.
And somebody,
the LSJ subscribers has been screwed for years. Come on, I want to read that.
Somebody showed up at the front door looking angry, wanting to talk to me, and they're advertising.
Oh, they showed up in person?
They showed up in person at the newsroom. This is back when we were, and they didn't let them back or come get me or anything. Yeah, I was like,
see, that is because you always, you tell people like, oh yeah, you're in your mom's basement, but this guy is like right.
So in the
newsroom, holy shit!
In the summer, used to. This is the days when print journalism so ruled. You had to fill we used to have rules like, hey, you got to fill a column for this Sunday. You're like, shit, it's the middle of the summer. We have dirt track racing here, and I did what I actually thought was a pretty good column, and this guy was not happy.
Oh man,
not happy.
He might have had a point or two.
Yeah, I've looked for it. You can't find it online. I actually went through.
How is that possible? You don't have a copy?
Well, I do somewhere. I just can't find it because I have it in a bin in the basement, I think. But I briefly at one point tried to find it, but it wasn't like something I thought was clip worthy. It wasn't like I was sending it out to get new jobs. So I don't know if I saved a bunch of.
He didn't write you like any hate mail or. I doubt the guy had email.
I've gotten pissed off people, but I've never.
But no, like I'm going to kill you, like because that's what a death threat is, right? You have to actually say those.
Nobody's
words.
ever threatened my life, right?
Because you can willy-nilly. Like, the guy didn't threaten your life when he came in there. Like, when he showed up to the newsroom, right? Where's that Graham couch? I'm going to kill him.
You think Los has ever got a death threat?
1,000%. I look in the comments of the Twitter. Like, he makes me want to, create a burner and fire off one of him. Fucking idiot. I mean, come on, dude. What's he doing next Wednesday? Come on here. Explain yourself then. Do you want to do that? I don't know. Kenshu, is BC's backup quarterback any good?
I don't think you're going to see him.
And I don't know. You want me to call Deets back?
We don't know if the first team quarterback's any good. I mean, he might be. He's obviously was a good, he's a guy who's recruited to Alabama, a guy that Bill O'Brien identified. And you see this like with Castellanos, the quarterback last year, who, the coach at Florida State had previously coached and had a relationship with and wanted him. And sometimes when a coach wants a guy and that it can be a really good fit. So I don't think we know yet. His numbers were decent against a bad team, and that I'm talking about the starter here. The backup had good numbers again against a really bad team.
Maybe next. Has MSU changed security procedures or paranoia level a year after the sign stealing?
That's a good question. Nothing that I noticed, but for players getting in, I'm sure there are. You know what? Now that I think about it, absolutely they have done something. And this was last year, and this makes sense. So until last year, because you keep in mind, this was 2 whole years ago that the Connor Stallions was on the sidelines of the CMU game.
Feels longer than that.
Through that year, our press credentials were, I believe, game by game. They did not have our pictures on them. It was like, it would say the Ohio State game or whatever, and you'd have a lanyard for it. And if they weren't game by game, they didn't have your pictures. The ones now, even for people like us, do not allow field access. And I can't remember when that changed. We used to be able to go down before the game, last 5 minutes of the game, no field access. It says what levels we can be on, and it has our pictures on them, and they're full season things. So that I guarantee you was probably a reaction to somebody being on the field who wasn't supposed to be there, and how passes are doled out and all that. So my guess is that is what that is when it actually happened.
Maybe. Do we have a kicker yet?
They were pretty coy about that this week. My guess is they're going with the same Sislo and Eckley doing long field goals and Sislo short, and that is a concern.
Sounds like they were pretty honest about it. Not being coy. I mean, what else are you supposed to say?
Well, I don't think they're going to say when. Yeah,
it's probably I don't know whoever's better kicker in practice the couple days prior. I don't know.
Well, if one of the other guys is healthy was the question. Yeah. By the way, maybe a legend again. Trafficking donuts across state lines. I absolutely
boofing them.
Absolutely love it. Speaking of things of that report, this week at Groovy Donuts, the Fluffer Nutter.
Yeah,
it looks incredible. Available this Thursday through Sunday. Go to groovydonuts.com. If you click on order online, you'll see it. It's just, my goodness. God, it is. Childhood delight in the form of a tasty pastry. This light, fluffy yeast donut filled with toasted marshmallow cream and is topped with a peanut butter icing and marshmallow icing drizzle.
For those that aren't watching on YouTube, Graham is dry humping the table.
Yeah, that's what's
really
happening.
Awkward.
That's what's happening.
Thankfully, you can't see that.
It's not great here. Anyway,
and he's
great
not
donuts.
panting. It's weird.
Go to groovydonuts.com. Swing on by either location. Make Groovy Donuts part of your tailgate this weekend. It'll improve your tailgate and it'll improve the way people think about you. groovydonuts.com, or 2 locations, Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or Williamston, and 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thursday through
I love
Sunday.
when the donut's so good in the middle of it, you just go, ugh. You just can't read anymore. Jarrett, with the Lions, if they keep getting close to the Super Bowl but never quite getting there under Dan Campbell, that's the worst case outcome, right? Well, yeah.
Not good.
It's up there.
Yep.
Somebody getting injured and it all going to shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They got to make one.
I'm aware of the worst case scenario. I'm aware of what the possibilities are. That's why I hate this. That's why I want one Super Bowl so I can go down and then just die. Jarrett, who is the best coach in the NFL?
If you had one coach, it can't be Dan Campbell. One coach to coach your team. The Lions, Dan Campbell tomorrow dies in a sailboat accident. Who replaces him?
What? Why is he dying in a sailboat accident? Did he get hit in the head by somebody?
It's better than the Epstein list. I don't know. What do we
I
got?
guess.
So,
I really like Sean Payton. I know that everybody hates him, but I mean, if you want to win, if I'm talking about a guy with my kind of team that I like, the kind of football that I enjoy, I like Sean Payton. Who's another coach? That's pretty much.
Would you go him over Andy Reid?
Just because Andy Reid says nuggies, he calls chicken nuggets nuggies.
I think Sean.
Because you have to give Andy Reid. I mean, I'm not like Harry who calls Andy Reid a shithead coach.
How about Sean McVay?
Oh yeah. Sorry, excuse me. Sean McVay is my number one guy.
Okay.
Then Sean Payton. Yeah.
Got to be Sean. You got to be a Sean. If you're Sean, you can.
There's possibilities of trading Dan Campbell for McVay. Like you could actually have that conversation with me without getting yelled at or making up some fake death or Epstein.
Not sure Jared Goff would be thrilled if McVay showed back up. But
Alex Mayer, what position group will be challenged the most against BC?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't think we know.
Offense,
to me, it's Aiden Childs, right? I think the defense is pretty decent. It's his ability to process things quickly, play in the pocket, make the right reads, use his legs when he can, and not make big mistakes. I do think Michigan State is probably a little bit better team. And so if Aiden Childs can just not lose the game for them, they're good enough to win. And I think it starts there.
Next one from Alex. If you had to play one game of Division I college football at full speed, what position would you choose to play?
Long snapper. You can't hit you.
Punter.
Right? Long snapper, they can't hit you.
Just kick that ball and get the hell out of the way.
Yeah, long snapper.
Yeah.
100%.
Jebediah. We're pussies. Jebediah, who would MSU hire for next season if Jay Batt goes nuclear and fires Jonathan Smith if they lose the big must-win game this weekend?
Yeah, they're not going to do that because they don't have the money for it. But it would be Can
you imagine if you wrote a story or a column that's saying that if Jonathan Smith doesn't win this weekend, the hot seat could be turned up?
Yeah.
Would you do that?
And the thing is, that would be more legitimate than the one that was just written. And even though it wouldn't be
there
true.
would be some truth to it.
We're not this early. It would take the steam out of this year. It would put some pressure on because the other thing is beyond this year, the money's just not right. Like the answer to that to me would be Pat Fitzgerald, the former Northwestern coach, has sort of been cleared of everything at Northwestern, and I think he's a really good guy and a seasoned, proven coach. But he would have to coach for free because Michigan State couldn't afford him. So as long as he's getting a huge payday from Northwestern, maybe he would be willing to do so.
Jebediah, who will be the breakout player on defense this weekend? And you can't say Jordan Hall. I was going to say Jordan Hall.
Yeah. Maurian Smith, maybe. I keep hearing good things about him. It's going to be somebody in the secondary. That's what I think. Somebody's going to come up with a play back there that's going to make somebody in the secondary.
Jebediah, was Graham turning off his fan in the latest Spartan speak the reason I could hear his background echo every time he spoke? Or is that just Solari forgetting how technology works again?
Who the hell knows? Phil Friend left us dry, and I have to edit this stuff myself now. And so we don't redo stuff. Limited time to fix the audio.
I'm in charge of editing.
Yeah.
We don't edit anymore.
Well, we do a little bit, but it's pretty basic. Like if I know something's wrong. But
poor Phil Friend, what he must have went through with you guys.
He used to listen to the whole thing, and he'd take out all the ums and me jumping in. I'm like, I just listen to. I'm not going to freaking listen to the podcast.
Can you imagine having to listen to a podcast with Couch and have to take out every
That's unbelievable.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, the big problem is like we have amazing equipment here, right? And one of the great things about this is you can't generally hear my heavy breathing, right? I am grossly out of shape. I'm barely, like just moving. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad.
I mean, grossly is a perfect word for it, but I don't know if you're that bad.
No, I'm not that bad. But what I mean is the mics we have for Spartan Speak, if we are anywhere near them, it picks up everything. They're not great. And so we really have to remind ourselves when you're not talking, back your ass up. Don't take sips. Don't breathe heavy. And that's the problem.
Ryan Rockwell with 2 R's apparently. Can you clip Solari saying Big Dooley to play along with his laugh? I've never seen a player's nickname used so often by one writer.
He loves Big Dooley. He just loves saying it. Nobody else. It's amazing.
Maybe that's what he was telling me to clip, I guess, when I had to sift through a Spartan speak. I didn't hear Big Dooley, but
my favorite Solari thing that started to happen is we have these group interviews of players and coaches, assistant coaches,
Graham.
during the week. And I'm not a fan of the setup, but it's what Jonathan Smith likes. It's what they do. It's harder to do, interesting interviews. But to their credit, they're very good if you have a story idea of giving somebody off on their own or a little separate or something. I'm not saying they're not staying in the way. It's just what Jonathan Smith likes. It's just different from, say, the D'Antonio era. But I'm always in the same interview as Solari is what I'm trying to get to. And whenever that coach leaves or player leaves, he always has some like little quip, oh, good luck in class, good luck in this, or this, or talks about some sort of baseball thing or whatever.
For real?
Well, he usually has
a parting gift.
It's usually a parting gift saying. It's kind of dorky, but it also fits the conversation and or how he knows in the relationship. Every time now, I'm going to have to start making fun of him because this week it reached a fever pitch. Yeah.
Maybe you could write them down. Just jot them. Whatever he says.
I like that.
As
like
the exit.
This year, Solari exits.
Yes.
And Izzoisms. They're the two things I got to write down every time. Don't
Back
just
to
turn
the
them
white elephant in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to deal with the white elephant in the room.
Oh, man, I love you guys. All right, Ryan, for the fun of it, after one game of data, who would you rather have at quarterback, Childs or Sam Levitt?
Oh, I'd rather have Sam Levitt than anybody in college football.
Wow.
That I know right now.
Should we sprinkle Heisman?
Well, maybe Nussmeier at LSU, right?
Still,
though,
really
right?
Good. What's I think I looked up his Heisman stuff. It was like 17-1, 22-1 around that mark.
Maybe more than that. I think I got it
really
30-1 maybe. I have a little on it. But in my bias,
not Childs, by the way,
Levitt. My bias is this. I grew up a massive Elway fan. There's a little bit of pigeon-toedness. There's something about Sam Levitt's mannerisms that remind me of Elway, and they did right off the bat. And so it makes me not an impartial observer because there's something that triggers something when I'm like 9 years old and I just want to watch that guy play football. And the way he plays and see, now I think he's an excellent quarterback too. But yeah, Childs is a guy who's, I think, going to have to prove himself to the Sam Levitt level.
So Sam Levitt gave you Elway vibes and you're just telling us now?
Right away. Did he wear 7 too? I think that might have been it.
But you're just telling us this now.
I think I've said that before.
Have you?
Yeah,
oh.
Maybe not.
Jed Jepson Keniston next. I just rewatched the Western game. Child's poise and footwork were great in the first 2 drives, but after the Broncos got pressure, I thought his footwork got lost, mostly in the second half. Messed up accuracy and timing. Fix that with the O-line that protects, and he'll be dominant.
Yeah, that's the thing I took away from rewatching the game is, there were things, I watched the second half. I watched the times that Childs seemed too quick to run. But the game was also quick. Like, it was like there weren't that many. I don't know. I wanted to see more. I almost wish the game was like, not that people wanted another second half, but it was almost like, okay, that was decent. There weren't enough examples that I was looking to see with him, and I'm curious to see more. I'm not writing off Childs' ability to really take it to the next level, but I do think and he admitted this, one of his challenges is his eyes drop, and he, his tendency is to run. That's a hard thing to overcome. So I'll be interested to see what that looks like. Also, we missed one from Professor.
My God, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Who just said, I got it.
Oh, yeah, I got you. If Sam Levitt wins the Heisman, this is from Professor. If Sam Levitt wins the Heisman, will it be held against Smith?
To some
easily.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what Michigan State's situation is, right? If Michigan State's 9-3 and obviously if Levitt wins the Heisman, then Arizona State's like 11-1 and in the playoff. But if Michigan State's 9-3 and people don't mind Childs and they feel like the program's headed in the right direction, I think it'll be okay. What you don't want is like Sam Levitt takes off, wins a Heisman, they go 11-1, they're in the playoff. Next John Elway.
Yeah.
Childs doesn't finish the season as the starter. Like the team's 5-7. Like you can't have that. That would be then it would be like, what were you watching and when you were evaluating these guys?
Munfield Keg next. How big of a factor do you see the crowd being on Saturday night? I know the players have told you this game and had been circled, but I think fans are looking for revenge as well.
It should be a big atmosphere, and I think it will be. I think people are. The first game did enough that people are going to come back.
What about those concession lines? We're going to get those moving.
Well, that's the other thing.
Talking to Jay Batt about
people know they can't go to the concession line. You eat beforehand, you pee beforehand, you're in your seat. Like,
that's how you solve the problem.
That's all you can do. This I wouldn't trust it if I care about the game.
You guys could just eat before you come, just half of you, and then the other half could eat.
They could have like a thing where they point at different sections. Section 4, your turn. Oh, the section 4 always screws it up because of the way
it's got to be. You can order. Can we order by phone? There's got to be a way to order by phone pickup.
Yeah.
Boom.
I think soccer is the way to go here, and I don't mean this to make you sleep. I'm just saying, the idea that this is soccer is a sport where you can't leave your seat because there are no breaks, right? People do everything.
Well, I mean, the whole game's a break, technically.
But they do everything at halftime, and they do it well, and they have things set up, and people still have time to stand around and drink and eat in the stands and everything.
And they get you out in 2 hours or so.
Yeah,
right?
they know how to do it, and so you got to figure out how to staff it to soccer levels because people have to be back in their seats by the time that second half starts, or really soon thereafter, and everybody leaves at the same time, and that's the only time people are on the concourse. So if I were Jay Batt, I would be on a plane to see like an Arsenal match next week.
Richard Kane, I was in town last weekend for the first time in over 20 years. Tried Cask & Company and loved it. Thanks for the recommendation.
Appreciate you, Richard. I think anybody who I always give it as a recommendation. I think anybody.
That's the live read right there.
Yeah, anybody who's looking for a place to take somebody or to go while they're in town, or if you live here, Front 43 and Cask & Company, two very distinct vibes. But if you want the pub atmosphere, Front 43's got it. You want more of a restaurant atmosphere, also with great TV setups around the bar, and it doesn't overtake you. So if it's a date night, Cask & Company's great. It doesn't feel like you're in a sports bar with TVs blaring at you. Fantastic menu. I absolutely love some of the sushi bowls there, the Big Island Bowl, things like that at Cask & Company.
Richard Kane, what's the fascination with Jeff Smoker? I don't know.
He's an interesting character.
Played college football while doing cocaine and strippers, and had a great life on campus there. I mean, I'd like to hear about it. To hear about those times.
Had some hard times, yeah.
You say hard, I say fun.
And he's also still the highest rated quarterback they've ever recruited.
Don't say that.
He's like a top 15 national.
Can we just
guy.
lie and say it's someone else?
Manheim, PA, yeah.
When was Smoker here?
2001. Freshman in 2000.
Oh, fuck. All right. The Jeremy Bonderman of Southern Maine next. Have they ruined the live college football watching experience? How long until the bubble bursts? Sitting at home, I can flip channels. At the Western game, I was filled with rage every time the red hat guy and the countdown board stepped into the field. And from Ralph E. You were right about commercials in college football. Was 30-plus year MSU football season ticket holder. Drove 8 hours round trip for each game, so I'm not a fair weather fan. When MSU football is on TV now, I record the game and join in part way through. Get to fast forward through commercials and halftime on the Xfinity DVR.
Beautiful.
Nice promo. Makes the games far more enjoyable. And Jason Pro Tip did the same thing with Corso's last game day. I watched the good parts in a half hour and his picks live.
It's one of the great things about Xfinity is that DVR, and
it lasted a half hour,
and I love it on my phone as well. It is one. I mean, you could be it. I think the phone DVR from Xfinity is the best feature, and I use it at games. I use it on the road.
If you're a sports fan,
yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I mean, this is an issue. It is an issue, and some people act like it's not an issue, but it is. People are annoyed by it, and more people are going to think I'd rather be at home. Jason would rather be at home.
Absolutely.
And
but I just figured that's my age group, though. Because when we went to live, I'm like, with the parking, I saw like 10 golf shots. I mean, it was fun to watch my wife on TV after a Bryson DeChambeau drive, but I'm just saying everybody wanted me to go to the Western game and tailgate, but I just see all those people and the lines and all that, and then I'm at home with 3 TVs and it's beautiful.
They don't. Yeah, it doesn't.
I mean, I'm just saying.
It doesn't need to be this way. I know they need to pay for stuff, and I know this sport is expensive and all that, but there are better ways. You got to be more creative. This is like having just boomers come up with the idea. Well, more commercials. I guess that's how you do it. That's how you make the money. Like
Red Zone, more commercials on Red Zone.
Let's think of creative ways to make the advertising ingratiated in the experience, but not take away from the experience and not slow it down entirely. There have to be ways, and you got to be more creative there.
But I think as football viewers, I think that we'll have to end up boycotting or something. Like I will not be able to do it. Like I think I could join on at some point, but for me to go, I'm not watching football or recording on DVR and jumping halfway through. Like I could never do that.
The bigger problem for college football,
but I'm willing to cheer you on if you're going to do it.
Well, the bigger problem for college football is the NFL starts this weekend. The NFL is not as bad. It's a quicker moving game. The commercials
I know,
tend
but
to be a
red
little
zone
less.
the last thing we had was Chris Hansen not peeing and giving us 8 hours of uninterrupted football, and they have to ruin that. Like, how much you got to squeeze the tit, just squeeze it dry for every fucking thing. You can't just give us red. You should look forward to that. Chris Hansen all freaking day, right there. Being a gigantic boner, but I love him. But, it's 8 hours. He didn't pee one time. Parker Weiss. Is everyone too focused on the performance of the offense, Childs, O-line, etc., that we could be overlooking a potentially very good defense? I'm also one of these people, but maybe more stock should be placed on that defensive performance versus Western.
No, there's a chance of it. It's just, again, it's not like what Boston College dealt with Fordham, but you just got to see it against not a first-time starting quarterback at that level, not an offensive line that's replacing 4 guys. You just got to see it against other people. I think there are lots of things about the defense that are potentially encouraging. But
we talked about those on Monday at the Hot Take Show. That's what we prefaced it with. It's like the defense looked great. The first half was great. It's just I don't think people are harping on the offense too much. It just was shocking.
I do think the linebackers and secondary have a chance to be a really nice units. And I do wonder if the interior defensive line can't be so as well, which again opens other things up. Look, this week will be somewhat telling, and then you got to keep doing it because maybe Boston College is just horrendous at running the football, and so this week isn't entirely telling on that. By the time Michigan State comes back from USC, you kind of know, right? You played 2 high major opponents. I think USC could be a difficult team with a number of really electrifying playmakers, and you kind of have a sense of what you are and what your potential might be, and I think they'll know before they go to Nebraska.
Parker Weiss next. My gut tells me that this is either a 2013 type season or a 2022 type MSU football season. Could Saturday be one of the biggest swing games in recent memory in terms of how high or low the fan base will feel afterwards, especially this early in the season?
For the fan base, it is. It'll be interesting. What you don't have is a game afterwards you can lose, which is probably helpful. Although that's something you've got to be, good at. You can't have we saw that even late in the D'Antonio era, where there was, they lose that crushing game to Ohio State in 2019, where they really just thought it was a measuring stick game and didn't measure up, and then they went and just laid an egg at Wisconsin. We saw that with Minnesota coming into Spartan Stadium at one point in 2000. I think that was 22. Yeah, no, this is a big game, though, because to me this feels like a game that determines whether Michigan State plays the season from 500 and above or chasing 500. And if they win this, and I know they'll get to 2-1 next week, even if they lose this, but then they go to USC, then they go to Nebraska. And if you win this game and you get to 3-0, it takes the pressure off those games. It's not that, if you can find a way to win one of those games on the road, people will be pretty happy. Nobody's going to, you go to USC, you put up a decent fight and it doesn't happen. It's not going to feel like losing this game. And if you're 3-2 when UCLA visits and you beat UCLA, which just got, creamed by Utah last week, then you're 4-2 halfway through the season and all feels okay. If you lose this game, you're going to be 3-3 probably halfway through the season. And that feels very different. That feels like, okay, now you got to beat people to just get to a bowl game. You got to keep winning to stay there. Oh, this team's tough ahead. Now you got to go to Indiana. Oh, wait a second. If you lose that and then Michigan's next, like if you want to get on the right side of 500 by a couple games, and this is how you do it. You win this week.
Ben Chulik next. I miss the days of playing Notre Dame every year, but in this college football playoff era, should this non-conference schedule be the template moving forward? Teams from the MAC, FCS, and a lower mid-level Power 4 school.
I don't mind a bigger showcase. I think what you want to do is your scheduling. This is hard to do because you schedule way out, and if you can avoid doing that, great.
Can we stop that, by the way? Stop scheduling to 2035?
It would make sense.
10 years out?
It would make sense. Like, to me, anytime any game's scheduled out more than 5 years, it's not worth reporting. But because half the time that game's going to be canceled at this point anyway. What you ideally want to do is you want to schedule sort of to your level. You want to, I think one MAC, one FCS is fine, 2 MAC is fine, whatever it is. But you need to play a Power 4 conference in that other game, and you want it to be relative to your expectations. As you get better, that team should be better. You should be trying to create showcase games that make sense for you in that realm.
Jay Riemenschneider, what's the worst game plan? Urban and Ohio State versus MSU in 2015, or Ryan Day and Ohio State versus Michigan last year? All things considered, both should have had been at least 14-point wins by Ohio State.
This is a great question from Jay. Really, really good question. I would say the worst game plan was last year. The Ryan Day Ohio State versus Michigan. Just Michigan had no quarterback. And Ohio State was a team that was capable of winning the national title like they were in 2015. That was a great Ohio State team, and that was a horrible game plan. The only thing that's in Ohio State's defense in 2015, and there's not much because they didn't run Ezekiel Elliott as much as they needed to. Is Michigan State hit them with the surprise backup quarterback plan that they weren't ready for, and it happened just as Michigan State's offensive line, which had been banged up. Like weeks earlier, that offensive line was like playing on one leg, and Connor Cook got knocked down 9 times and carried them in a lot of ways to that win over Rutgers on the road. It was like 24-17. And that game, the line was elite for Michigan State. It got healthy at the right time. They played a style of play, shortened the game. They had a lot of things went wrong for Ohio State. Still no excuse. But to me, what happened against Michigan is one of the you had to go on to win a national title. Otherwise, it's, again, you're winning, like you're going like 45-2 in a few years, 45-3. Like, you don't want to say fireable offense, but if you're Ohio State and you can't beat Michigan, and then you're also not winning the national title, you have to have a conversation with your coach. Like, what is the mental hang-up here? Because Ohio State had so many advantages. Michigan did not have a quarterback, and that should not happen. I mean, we've seen it. We saw Michigan State in 2018 play Ohio State and Michigan back-to-back when Lewerke was playing with like one arm, and those games were like 7-7 and 7-6 late in the third quarter. You have great defenses and all that, but it's still no excuse.
Which arm from Lewerke?
I don't.
Jay was in Ishpeming area this past weekend, Graham, and I saw a guy who looked to be in his early 20s, and he looked a lot like you. So are you 100% sure you didn't sire a child on one of your rustic in the wild Marquette adventures?
I can promise
it's pretty
you.
presumptuous there, Jay. You think he got laid?
Well,
back then?
Early 20s.
Had a kid?
I never went to Marquette in that age, so this person would have had to move to get there, which is possible.
Yeah, and you'd have had to bang them to have a kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're telling me you've had that much sex where you just there could be a kid out there. Like, I'm pretty sure every time you could probably like just rifle it off how many times you had sex.
Well, let me ask you this. You have had situations where you had people show up at your house and I had signed document.
I had one situation, yeah. Yeah. I wasn't surprised at that moment. I was told beforehand that person would show up with that document to sign.
Okay.
As the child had been alive for a couple of years prior to that.
Okay.
So I knew about the child. I knew I was in the running, Maury Povich style. I was just given the offer to sign off on it because there was a new guy in town and he wanted to be a father. So I took it. I was like, give me that. I'm signing it.
A story we're telling, presented by our friends, by the way, at Midtown Brewing Company.
I will say, I did want to go the actual route of finding out, whose child it actually was, but then I was told how much that test cost.
Right.
And I didn't want that dipping into my $40K that I got from the car accident settlement. Right. It wasn't mine, I don't think. Pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure.
Story we're telling, presented by Midtown Brewing Company. Another good place for football this weekend for a date night, downtown Lansing. I'm telling you, a lot of character there. People will, not characters. I'm not talking the characters of downtown Lansing. There's some of those too. But
find your future baby mama there.
Character. And it will not seem like you're going to a chain restaurant. Great chef. Great beer selections, good vibes, Midtown Brewing Company.
Don't you feel bad when you hear of people that say, like, oh, hey, Rube, I think I saw where you at this and this. And I'm like, oh, I felt so bad for somebody that looks like me. It's so bad.
It's still
like a 20-year-old. Although you weren't a bad-looking dude in your 20s, though, right?
I wasn't horrible. I still get the Joe Rexroad stuff occasionally.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Better than Los Monterez. David Jackson, when we think about all of the challenges MSU faced last year at Boston College, O-line, injuries, no Marsh, and a couple of other wideouts injured, a defense that was clearly inferior to what we have today, why isn't everyone more positive about beating BC? Do you agree that just about the only position that is MSU's 2025 team is worse than last season's team is at place kicker? And from Thomas, am I crazy for not fearing BC? They've got a new quarterback and only played an FCS team. Don't see what there's to worry about.
This could be the case. There's just
Thomas,
unknown.
did you see the second half against Western? That's it. I'm not worried about BC. BC is not some big, bad dog coming in here. It's the offense against Western.
Well, and you just
Pretty
don't
much
know
what are you worried about?
You don't know if where teams and programs grow from in terms of seasoning and how much better they could get. Like I'm picking Michigan State partly for this reason. Like I think Michigan State a year ago was the better team. The data we have a year ago, they were the better team other than the turnovers. And what I am trusting, sort of tentatively, is that Aiden Childs and this team will not turn the ball over to that extent, and that Nick Marsh is playing, which he didn't play last year. Doesn't mean Boston College isn't a little bit better, but Michigan State at home, they should win this game.
David Jackson, so is Bat going to hammer Central Michigan, or will he release a statement that says we don't care if our cordial neighbor from Mount Pleasant screws us over and they cheat to give Michigan an edge over MSU? Those are the only two possible choices that exist for him.
I would hold out on this card until I see how the concessions go if I were Jay Bat.
Ooh.
If things aren't going well and you need a distraction, this is what Trump would do, right? You just hammer. Like it's like you just hammer Central Michigan.
Is that an alien?
Yeah.
I could have swore I saw a UFO yesterday.
That would be my play.
Thomas, why do people feel compelled to tell you they don't like Lansing when they find out you lived in the area before? Because they hate themselves.
Yeah. This is the place, man. I don't understand.
I used
that.
to hate Lansing.
You were
but I hated
lost soul.
myself.
Yeah,
I was.
Right, yeah.
I really was. Just because what I've done in the area, and I'm embarrassed, especially back in the day. So I was like, I hated Lansing. But, I like Lansing now.
Let me ask you, what other community has two groovy donuts besides the Lansing area?
I can't think of one.
There isn't one.
I can't.
So why would any other place be better than Lansing?
That's true.
Yeah.
Shep, Gannett has decided to send you on a trip to cover the World Cup next summer.
Excellent.
Press pass access to any games you want to attend. However, as a cost savings measure, Solari, Los, and Wojo are all going as well. And you all must share a basic 2 double bed hotel room at all stops. Call it a mid-level brand like Holiday Inn Express. Do you go? And bonus, who do you share a bed with and why?
I don't go. Because I'm going as a fan next year. My buddy Scott and I have been saving for this, and so I want that experience. I don't want to be.
But let's say that,
I don't want to be working.
Let's say you didn't have that relationship with a buddy.
Okay, and I'm doing this. So who am I?
Aside from all that, but anyway, yeah, you were doing this trip. It was free, right?
Who am I sharing a room with?
What if Scott Powers could come as well, and you guys could use that money for other things?
Okay,
too,
okay, fair enough.
Come on.
So
we all know it's Los.
So I'm sharing a room. Yeah, it is Los, actually. Yeah. I would share a room with Los. I just think,
you better stay up at night and be like, I just don't understand.
I would try and talk him down.
I don't get where you're coming from.
Yeah, but I would. I think.
Hey, Los, do you mind if we have a chat?
Based on my dinner experience at Los, I think I'd have I'd be a good roommate.
Whatever. Chris Eastlick, should we just get rid of neutral site games? Half of them don't make sense on location. KSU and Iowa State. And the atmosphere could not be more underwhelming. LSU, Clemson, and Texas OSU on campus should be the only illustration you need.
I'm glad people are going away from it. I don't mind
I'm with Eastlick.
I don't mind the Ireland game in week 0 a little bit just because it's
if
something
Notre
different.
Dame's in it.
Yeah, I guess
that
it
whole
works.
bit.
Yeah, it worked with.
But why
Nebraska,
is the NFL's
Northwestern.
playing in Brazil? Like, fuck, get out of here.
Yeah, that's dumb.
What are we doing that for?
Yeah, no, the on-campus stuff is just way better, and I'm glad people moved away from the Jerry World openers and all that stuff. Just play them on campus. People
Although we
deserve it.
do see the campus thing like the rest of the season, so is it really bad sometimes to do like a one-off? I'm just being grumpy old guy.
But I think if you do the one-off, I actually like what Michigan State's doing at the end of the year when it's colder than dirt and you're playing Maryland and it's played at Ford Field where it's cozy.
That's smart.
Instead of playing your biggest game, taking your biggest game away. Like if the Penn State game, Michigan State had the Penn State game, which is their best opponent this year probably. If that game November 15th was taken off campus, that sucks. That's the best ticket you got. Well, I guess people think Michigan ticket's probably the best ticket, but that's the best opponent probably you have.
Chris, Graham, why are your national colleagues so persistent to prove that, see, college football isn't ruined by NIL and the portal? Then they try to make the point by using attendance of top 10 matchups, asking fan bases in the MAC, Sun Belt, or Mountain West how they feel.
Yeah, you got to and I'm starting to get a little more aggressive with this online.
Oh, no.
You got to stop listening to national writers on this.
Can you tell me when you're going to do that?
Because they I love Dan Wetzel. But when these guys who pick and choose the big games they go to and the big things they watch and they think college football is great, That's fine. That's fine.
Well, he works for ESPN now.
Yeah, but ultimately, there aren't enough fans. Most people aren't at the behemoth programs, and college basketball is a greater example of this. And it's not that these teams ever had a chance to win it all, but if you kill the dream, and it used to be that existed. It used to be you could see how you could become a Boise. You could see how you become Western Michigan in 2016. When that's no longer there, when that's no longer a possibility, you will lose eyeballs over time. When kids stop relating to the program, they stop feeling connected to the football team. When people stop knowing who the players are, will the kids who are 20 today feel like the kids who were 20 years ago who are now in their 40s, and do they come back? Are they the alumni who are as passionate? I don't know. I think that's a real danger, and national media people do not have the pulse of this. They don't. You just got to stop listening to them. They're fighting for relevance every day of their lives.
Bulky Bartokamus next. We like to have fun dumping on how weird Harbaugh is. Can we be honest and all acknowledge that Coach Jonathan Smith is also a little weird? Kind of stiff and awkward. Seemingly incapable of expressing strong emotion. Not saying it's bad, but come on, man. He's a little odd.
Well, yeah, but there's nothing wrong with being weird. Being a
Do
little
you know
odd.
how hard it is to be cool? To have swag? It is fucking hard. Well, I'm just saying, to be a head coach and to have a personality, like not everybody's Brian Kelly and Dabo.
Are you thinking back to your high school years right now? Is that what
Dude, yeah. I've never been cool, ever. This show has made me like maybe a minuscule little piece of cool. But other than that, no.
No, yeah.
I'm just saying that, to cut these guys some slack and to have to do all the speeches. That's why Dan Campbell is so great. His speeches are insane. Like to have to do those game in, game out.
Well, he has it. Dan Campbell has it.
That's
He
what
has
I
the
mean.
whole package, yeah.
But I think you can be a good head coach and not have to be this boisterous,
Well,
personality.
and my issue is never that Harbaugh is weird. My issue with Harbaugh is that he looks through people a little bit, and he's just sort of my issues with Harbaugh have nothing to do with weirdness. I like lots of weird people. I'm weird. I mean, there's no question I'm weird. I mean, there's a question later on coming on whether I'm more weird this week than Elon Musk. I mean,
No,
so like,
not at all.
No, that's true.
Elon is not.
Yeah.
You're way weirder. Captain Sparty, why'd you ruin the question?
Sorry.
Do I have to read it still? Captain Sparty, why is our fan base so soft and fragile? We look 10 times better than we did last year. Every position group has improved, some by a lot. Our fan base is acting like we had to pull away in the fourth against New Mexico. Oh, wait.
Well, it's a battered group, and I love the dig people have there in Michigan.
No, I'm not even laughing at that. I'm laughing at Captain Sparty. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't see the second fucking half? Like, that's all you had to see. The offense was just non-existent.
And the last few years, it's just hard to trust for people.
Right.
It's hard. I would also be
19 points last year they scored per game.
I would be careful
Captain
about
Sparty.
the Michigan digs too. That a more seasoned program.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
but yeah.
Sparty Ben. Couch. The Munn tailgate wasn't a success as you said it was in the last show.
What?
Liar. It was for athletic department pass holders only. This isn't back to the glory days when anyone could line up and park there. This was for the second tier of elites at MSU, not the common MSU fan.
I think it's more accessible though to the common MSU fan. It's not. You're right.
That
it's
has
not, you
an
can't,
elite pass.
You can't just pull up there. Right. You do have to pay to go in.
Why can't we do that again? Let's pull up, man. Let's pull up and just have fun again. Right? All right. C-Dubs 91. Why did the tailgate parking costs increase? And if they are going to charge more for parking, can they at least pay their employees more? All right, Jay Bat, we got to get him on the show next Wednesday.
This is I didn't know this happened.
Couch is lying to people, and we need to get the facts out there. He's saying, "Oh, Munn is great."
If you do have serious issues though, and there have been people who have,
Can't
reach
get it
out,
truly on
reach out,
time.
because even if I don't do something, I'll bring it up in a news meeting, and sometimes stories get done, and because I'm never going to know about a tailgating issue unless it's brought to my attention. It's just, I park in we pay for it. They don't just give us a spot, but we pay for it. But it's like I don't tailgate. I just show up there and park and go in. So I don't know.
That would be awesome if you did.
If I tailgated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claim you're not a fan, but you tailgate before you have to go, right?
The new world of NA beers, non-alcoholic beers, that are really readily available.
Yeah,
and I
crushing
enjoy.
NA, so people walk by.
I think
I see you crushing an NA beer thinking you're getting ripped.
I am more likely to tailgate than ever before because I like
That's
NA
so
sad.
sad.
And I can.
I had to quit because I had to quit drinking because I was going to die. Like, you can still drink. You drink like a normal
not
person.
before a game though. I got it.
Yeah. What's that going to do? What are you going to do? Start firing Los Monterey stories out?
It's possible
if you had a copped up buzz.
No, there's a real. The
Dude,
problem
if
is,
I knew you were hammering 6 beers before a game, I would pay 19. That's how you go on to get my $19.99 a month.
I'll
Give
bring
me that couch getting buzzed.
I'll bring that up to corporate. Maybe that'll work.
Serious.
That'll be fun.
Can't be any worse than some of the other ideas. C-Dubs, have you asked security at Spartan Stadium about bringing a portable treadmill and standing desk to games? Would stories and takes be better?
I would enjoy
See?
that. Yeah, I'm wasting time sitting down. I don't like that.
6 beers,
Yeah,
a treadmill.
Mm.
You know, you can walk it off.
Yeah.
Cop a little buzz. Dino Spumoni. Is MSU payers, coaches, fans, players?
I think it's players. Sorry, I missed
I
that.
thought that it was the R, not the L.
Yeah, I missed that.
Is MSU players, coaches, and fans referring to Michigan as the team down the road a relatively new thing? I feel like I just started hearing it post-COVID.
I mean, D'Antonio didn't call them by their name. I don't know what he called them. I can't remember who was the team. It's not new. Calling them this or it's been
Shitbags down east.
It's been
I'm
something.
not talking about Michigan.
It's been something as long as I've been covering the team. So I don't know where it started or what this. But it's not new.
Dino. The other week, Graham discussed his side effect from COVID, which was pizza.
Yeah.
What's the best pizza joint in Lansing area someone not from the area doesn't know about?
Yeah. Well, okay. There are a couple places that I would recommend. There's a local place called Sleepwalker. Sleepwalkers are. It's it's like a brew pub too. They make their own beer, but they do phenomenal pizza. They even have this pickle pizza that you wouldn't think you'd love. That
It is
absolutely,
good. I've had it.
It's so good. Yeah. They do.
I don't know from there, but I've had one. Yeah.
They do a great job. So I would recommend that. It's in Rio Town. I also think Corey's is underrated. Now that what's the place that went under
Reno's.
DeLucas. I found it. DeLucas. It's the top of my head. DeLucas. Now DeLucas is gone. Corey's is this place that has this house pizza that's, I don't know, has some similarities to DeLucas in certain ways. I really like Corey's. Underrated. South Cedar. Good spot.
The passion in your voice is what's best about it. People will write in about how, like, the game. What do you think of this? I don't know. Could go either way. What's your favorite pizza? 4 segments. Scott, will MSU outscore its first FBS opponent in the second half of a game during the Jonathan Smith era? What is the team doing to get better as the game goes on and finish strong in the second half? And from Izzo for president, why are we so bad in the second half lately? Scheme? Personnel? Not making adjustments to whatever our opponent did at halftime? Fatigue? Conditioning? Not just Smith. Mel had the same issues. And from Send Help. Have you seen any evidence yet that this MSU staff can scheme and call plays based on personnel and matchup? Lack of adaptation has been frustrating so far in this tenure.
I was talking to Solari about this this week on Spartan Speak, because I think one of the things that's hard to know, because they've been at a talent deficit and a real depth deficit late, and that's where you wear down, right? When you don't have depth, you don't have talent, that is also something that really shows up in the second half of games, late in seasons. And so it has not been promising. They have not been good late in games. They have not been the better team making adjustments very often. They have not outscored people. They barely scored at all in a lot of the second half. So the question now is, and then week 1 of this, they weren't very good. So the question now becomes, now that there is a little more depth, now they have, I think, better playmakers on offense, a little bit better offensive line running the ball. I think their defense is a little bit better. Now that all these things are a little more seasoned, like, what does that look like? And this is a game where, you're going to have to win some of the second half adjustments. You might have to be better in the second half to actually win the game. So I think the jury's still out. But there are reasons it hasn't looked good beyond perhaps just the coaching. But there are arguments that they've been outcoached in terms of adjustments in the second half for sure. I mean, the Michigan game last year is a prime example of that.
Max next. Is Aiden Childs shouldering too much of the blame for the Boston College loss last season? Nathan Carter dropped a touchdown pass in the fourth quarter last year that would have put the Spartans up 23-16.
Yeah, they made a lot of issues, and he and Foster weren't on the same page, and part of that was Foster was running the go routes that would have been Nick Marsh, and the speed was different, and all that stuff. And I think Childs was trying to do a lot with it is possible. He did have 3 interceptions though, and one really costly one early in the second half. You throw 3 interceptions as a quarterback. I don't mind interceptions. Like, I think interceptions are part of taking some chances. You don't want people are too risk adverse, but like, if you get up to 3 on the road, like you're not going to win football games. So he deserves a fair share.
But it
of
was
the
more
blame.
of the fumbles, right? Like people are frustrated with those.
Last year, you mean? Yeah.
Max, who gives a F about concession lines? We would rather spend our money on a great tailgate.
Yeah, and hold it is what I would say. No,
Sneak stuff in.
Yeah. I did hear.
Sorry, Jay. Until you guys get that shit rectified, I'd be sneaking stuff in.
I did hear from quite a few people because I had the take that, you like what I used to do is go like in the last minute of the first half, get down there early, get done with the bathroom, use the trough.
And everybody thinks of that idea.
And everybody said, that just doesn't work. Somebody said we still did that and we still missed the first 6 minutes of the second half. Like that shouldn't be the case. Yeah. If that's the case, then you got to revamp everything you're doing down there because you ought to be able to leave right at the beginning of the second half or halftime and do 2 things. You ought to be able to do the bathroom and get something out of the concessions and get up in 20 minutes. That ought to be a 20-minute project, and that needs to be the goal. Make that experience 20 minutes.
Scott, where does Luka Vincic fit into the lineman rotation? Was he a starter at right guard or left guard before the injury?
I don't know, and I don't think they've said. They've said he's part of the rotation, and I think he's going to play this week. So that'll be interesting to see what they do because they do want to whittle things down. But then I've also heard that he is definitely in it. So look, that's more quality and depth, and they're good there. That all the better. But I don't know exactly where they're going to use him or how they're going to rotate him in.
Austin Wolf next. Does the team that rushes for the most yards win the game? And how much will the rotation be tightened up on O-line?
I'd say if Michigan State doesn't lead the game in rushing, they're probably going to lose, given that seems to be a weakness of Boston College. And so, I don't know how much it's going to be tightened up this week. I think it will be a little bit. But I think for Michigan State to win, they've got to win the rushing battle.
Corey Ostrom, Jason, will you please tell me that betting college football will go better for me this week? I took a bath last week. What games are you betting this week? Well, Corey, I'm not gonna lie to you. You might want to take this week off as well because there's it's
not a great
Couch
week.
said it's not a great slate. I do like Iowa plus 3.5 against Iowa State. Boston College getting 4.5. I want Michigan State to prove me wrong. Ole Miss versus Baylor. What was the other one? I do like Michigan getting the 5. I know you probably don't want to bet that, but those are the 3 games that I liked. Mojo Jojo, what's your favorite rural highway billboard? I'm a big fan of the Lion's Den ads next to the God is Real ones. Well, they should be next to each other. God is real. He's at the Lion's Den.
I'm a fan of any rural highway billboard that tells me there's a stop for coffee in like 2 miles. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but are they accurate? Because some of those where you get off and then all of a sudden you're going down through their town.
Oh, I hate that. That should be more clear. There should be different colors. It should be like, yes, at this exit, this would be the exit for this place, or this place is at this exit. It should be 2 very different things, very different colors.
It should be on the app because I use the Waze driving app, and I don't know why they don't have those to where you can locate the side off the highway kind of things. By the way, when we go to Illinois, the Brian Urlacher, because he's got a hairpiece now, it's like every other billboard when you go to Illinois. Mm-hmm. It's just fascinating to see Urlacher. See that you can do. The guy was bald as a cue ball. Now all of a sudden he's got great looking hair. Technology's amazing. All right, Mojo Jojo, best way to indoctrinate my 6-month-old into a true hatred of Michigan and the state of Ohio. We blew raspberries through the city and state as a start. You got to start proofreading these. What does this mean?
I don't know.
They blew raspberries through the city?
That must be a thing. Yeah. Just blew them out the window? What are raspberries?
What are raspberries?
I don't know what a raspberry is. It like a fart?
A raspberry? The fruit? Like the...
No, I don't think it's the fruit. I think this is like a gross thing.
Oh.
It's like a thing.
Oh.
Hold on. Give me some Hoff.
Jeez, I don't want you... Don't look that up, man.
Hold on.
No way.
I'm going to do it in like incognito. All right.
Raspberries porn. Put that in.
Yeah.
I am the passenger.
Peacock.
And I ride and I ride.
That's I see. It means to make a flatulent sounding noise with your lips and tongue to express contempt or disapproval. That's not too gross. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's so I would say that's a pretty good start. It's not too vile. It doesn't, you're just sort of expressing it without being you're teaching your young one not to do something that like
can never get that 30 seconds back.
Yeah, but you can you don't want anything that's going to send you to jail for 72 days. Right?
Mojo Jojo, does the Belichick blowout drive him back to the NFL to go for Shula's record, or is he cooked? Side note, what an incredible Hard Knocks-esque doc this would be. And from Scotty Green's El Camino, who looks more disinterested in what they are doing, Saban on game day or Belichick coaching North Carolina?
I think Saban is sort of getting to his rope's end. It's weird to see. It's
watching McAfee with his cut-off shirt. Belichick looks. He just hates life, period, like all the time.
And he looks like he's aged even more in the last year more than I
Have you
realized.
ever dated a 24-year-old?
Well, I was 27.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine doing it when you're 72.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What do you talk about? You see the balloons at his presser afterwards?
It was weird.
Oh, my God.
Child's birthday
Dude,
party.
that had Jordan Hudson all over
God.
that, right? Hey, Jordan?
Not talking about this.
No.
No.
All right. Scotty Green's El Camino. Rube, who's weirder, Couch or Elon? Couch ruined this already.
Yeah,
and it's Couch. That's why.
I'm not.
You're weirder than Musk.
I'm not weirder than Musk.
You did too. You said it 9 questions ago. You just threw it in there. Now it's not worth it now.
But I'm not weirder than Musk. I'm a weird
You're
dude.
weirder. I mean,
no
Elon
way.
gets away with it because he's so smart. You can't stop that brain. Like, you have no excuse from some of your weird shit. Like,
This man is trying to like sire children with like 37 different women a month. He's a weird dude. He's a weird dude.
That is weird. Still not weirder than you. Original Dark. Graham, have you ever been arrested and went through the whole shebang? Put in cuffs, back of the police car, fingerprinted, put in a cell, all of it. Don't recall you ever telling a story of an occurrence.
Unlike the Rube here, if that were to happen to me, it would not take till like episode 1000 for me to tell that story we're telling, presented by Midtown Brewing Company.
That's what I used to say. Oh, yeah, had the whole shebang happen.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, can you come pick me up?
The closest I came, when I was 26, I got pulled over in Buffalo for what could have been a DUI. And this is before, I'm using like MapQuest directions to try and find my way back to the hotel. And
Budweiser in the other hand.
Luckily, I had a bit to drink earlier, but it had what they call a garbage plate in upstate New York, and hung out with my cousin who was like 21 at the time, going to the University of Buffalo. And anyway, I when I had to blow on the thing, I fucked with it. Like I blew like it was not like they couldn't get a reading. And then the other thing that helped me is I have like Barry Sanders balance. So even when they got out of the car, I was great, and they let me go. So I was on. So
that's your trick for getting out of a DUI?
I didn't know what I was going to do. I was on the job technically. I was up covering a Western Michigan Buffalo game. It would not have gone well.
Should you be admitting this? What's going on here?
We'll fix this in post. Yeah.
Statute of limitations?
Hoping so.
T-Bone's dad. Who was more likely to be fired first, Belichick or DeBoer? And how much does Bill's crazy boo Jordan Hudson impact the line?
Not talking about this.
I think in terms of being
No.
fired, it would be DeBoer. I don't think he'll be fired during the season. But Belichick walk away, I would pick over. You know what I mean? Like, who wasn't there? Belichick walking away, I could see happening.
Like, if it gets bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
But they're not going to fire him at North Carolina during the season, I don't think.
It would be one of those mutual,
Yeah.
Bill's decided to spend time with his family. That bullshit lie. Matty B, can we say Kalen DeBoer is overrated? He's 21-11 at the D1 level without Michael Penix. He's lost 4 games against unranked opponents already at Alabama. Key point, overrated does not mean bad, but he's not a top 10 coach.
Well, the question is, can he recruit and develop culture over time? He has not been places all that long at the top level.
If you gave him a do-over,
does he leave
he was
Washington?
still at Washington.
No,
I mean, you could still leave Washington. Does he pick Alabama?
No.
I mean, following in the footsteps of Saban.
And, and one of the things that's interesting is Saban was already talking about one of the reasons he wanted out is his players were changing. The culture was changing. Guys were coming in after bowl game losses and asking about money. So he wasn't taking over exactly what Saban left either. He was taking over a changing program, and I think that's tough, and maybe he's not built for that. I don't know if he would have been great continuing it at Washington. I would not have left Washington. Washington, beautiful campus, beautiful stadium. Living in the Pacific Northwest ain't bad.
But you love the South, though.
That's true. I wouldn't go to Alabama for any. I need like a
Let's
personal,
speak honestly here.
a traveling air conditioner walking around me at all times.
Matty B, if Couch could only defend the honor of one of the following choices the rest of his life, who would it be? Matt Painter, Alan Haller, Jay Johnson, Doug Wojcik, or his wife?
Or Doug Wojcik's wife or my wife?
Oh.
Yeah. I would defend the honor of my wife. That would be it.
Ugh.
One of the following. Why would you not? Would you not
Sounds
defend
like
the
a
honor of
Hallmark
Therese?
movie.
Would you defend? You pick Therese
Over who?
over anybody.
Defend her?
Yeah.
Over who?
Over Matt Painter, Alan Haller, Jay Johnson, Doug
Oh,
Wojcik.
yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. That's it. That's for you. That's a question for you.
Right. Well,
I mean, make it towards me. I don't know.
okay. Would it be
My wife doesn't defend me very often.
Carmen Electra?
I'm defending Carmen Electra too, and my wife.
You can do both
Hopefully
at the same
together.
time.
You know what I mean? No, sorry.
Good luck tonight, man.
Yeah, thanks. Steve Whitaco, can you tell us more about these ads calling for change to the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961?
That's
the show that's coming up next, sir.
Yeah, that's Ebling.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually, he changed the name of his show to Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 with Jack Ebling.
I don't know what you speak of, but Jack will answer your question.
Please tell me more. No. Steve, appreciate your soccer enthusiasm. Glad Guhi stayed. Really, that's the question after that.
Yeah.
Stayed with Palace as well. Do you think that the Premier League would be better without VAR?
Yes.
Decision against Fulham was atrocious.
I do not. I just don't understand why it messes up. This is the replay for people who don't know, and there shouldn't be situations where VAR can't correct. Like, I mean, Aston Villa, if VAR should have been able to help them be in Champions League. They had a ruling go against them last year that's affected their whole summer and the vibes there and everything. But no,
VAR.
You need it because otherwise guys would flop to no degree. You get dumb handball calls. In a sport where 1 or 2 goals decides a game, you need VAR.
Jake Hawkins, some people are saying not only Saturday night's game is a must-win, but also if MSU loses, Coach Smith will lose most of the fan base, so he might as well pack up and go back to the West Coast. Thoughts?
He'll lose them temporarily. Now he can get them back by winning at USC, but yeah, the next week would be a rough couple weeks. The vibe would not be great if they lose this game. It just won't be, and because not since Iowa has there been a real promising moment. And then you get the first half, and there's a little bit of that, but then you get the second half of the Western Michigan game. So like, they need this. They need this badly.
Next one from the Hawk. Do you think Jordan Hudson had any say in North Carolina's game plan? And that's why Monday's game fizzled out of control for Bill Belichick to allow 48 points.
She went with the prevent defense. She's like, I think I got something here.
Yeah. Can I call a play?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The Hawk, what do you think of the recent news that the LA Clippers owner Steve Ballmer set up a no-show job to pay Kawhi Leonard?
This is fascinating. This is Pablo Torres reporting, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes because this happened. The closest thing to this happening was the Minnesota Timberwolves with Joe Smith, and it was 5 first-round draft picks.
Oh my God, yeah.
So like the penalty if this is true will be severe, and I mean, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. If I were an owner, I would circumvent the salary cap all the time to pay guys.
Ballmer has too much money. Like someone's going to go down for it, not Ballmer.
Yeah,
right. He just created that new stadium. Like
it's going to be interesting because this is stuff in the problem is this is in the collective bargaining agreement.
I thought they've been doing this. And have they made the jokes about Kawhi not no showing and getting paid before and all that?
Constantly.
Okay, figured that was on Twitter. And finally from the Hawk. Now that the NFL Red Zone will have full-on commercials, which is such bullshit, all caps, are you more likely not to watch it again?
What are you going to do with the Red Zone?
I am watching. Dude, listen, they have me.
Yeah.
If you guys want to protest, I want to get behind it. I just don't have.
You can't be part of it.
I cannot. I do not have the willpower to not watch football. So I'm out. I'm not your guy you need, right? I'm an old soldier. Leave me alone. I'm going to die.
Come stand with me watching
You
soccer
guys
and
go
tennis.
fight this fucking battle because I'm behind you. You're going to have my support. I'm just going to be sitting there watching the commercials on Red Zone like an asshole.
Not really the support. Yeah.
I'm with you. It was the last thing. When I heard the news, I was really like bummed out because I was like, we had one thing left that they couldn't squeeze the tit out of.
Yeah.
It's like unbelievable.
We appreciate all of you. Thank you for helping to produce our show.
What
appreciate
a show.
it. We will be back on Monday with your takes and ours after Saturday night's Michigan State Boston College game and Michigan Oklahoma and the Lions. Sunday afternoon should be a fun Monday show. U.S. Open tennis, whatever you want to talk about. International soccer. We appreciate Groovy Donuts. Go to groovydonuts.com. Make them part of your weekend. Swing on by either location, Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. We appreciate Front 43 and Cask & Company. Great place to post up and watch football this weekend. And of course, our friends at Firekeepers and the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. Download the app today. Bet the games. Do so responsibly. Good show, man.
Yeah, man.
Couch in the Roof.